Hello, everybody. It's your boy Stevie Ray here on another glorious afternoon. And you know what we call it? Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray, the world's most dangerous podcast. And you guys know why we call it dangerous, because anything may happen at any minute if I got anything to do with it. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. Up until yesterday, man. And we're going to talk about that when we get into the show. Now, I'm not 100% sure that we will be doing Tokyo Heat tonight because Sonny might be here and he might not be here. It all depends. But tonight I was going on by myself and I informed him of that. But I also said, if you want to come on, I don't know, halfway in the hour into the show or something like 30 minutes into the show, you can come on. But with all that being said, you know, I got some real tragic news yesterday. As I was working out at the gym, a friend of mine called me and said, man, we had lost a very good friend of mine, a man that I really admire in the wrestling business. And you guys know I don't say that about a lot of people. A Mr. Sid Vicious, man, very good friend of mine. We lost yesterday. And, you know, I sent my condolences out to him and his family. And I know you guys probably want to ask me questions about Sid because Sid played a very integral part of my career, getting started in wrestling in the big time. I owe a lot to him. Me and my brother, we owe a lot to him. And by the mere fact that my boy saw something in us that a lot of other people didn't see and put himself, put himself out there for us. And he didn't have to do that. And a lot of people don't do that in this business, especially when they don't know you. You know something, guys? Me and my brother, we didn't even know Sid Vicious other than watching him on television. I'll tell you this story. Sid called us and said, Louis, I appreciate that. Daniel, I appreciate that. WWAB, I appreciate that, man. You guys all know how he was. Sid was a big presence. But let me tell you this story. You know, Sid got in contact with us and said, hey, man, I've been watching you guys when we were in Global up in Dallas. He said, I've been watching you guys, man, and I really think I really like how you guys work, man, and you're doing your thing down there, man. We've been looking at you up here in WCW. And I told them that I'm going to come down and scout you guys. That's how the whole thing started. Who is that? Ginger Ninja. Booker T talked about how Sid helped you and him in the business on his podcast. Said that Sid's a good dude. Never said anything bad about anyone. Always nice. That's Sid, man. That's Sid. Now, a lot of people didn't get along with Sid in the business. I'll be the first to tell you that. A lot of people didn't get along. I mean, I ain't going to say didn't get along with him, but Sid was one of these stern guys, man. I mean, you know, Sid was like a pit bull, man. When he was into it, man. But before we get the show started, let me put the phone number out there. If any of you guys want to call in and, you know, say anything to old Stevie Ray about Sid or say anything to old Stevie Ray about anything that's going on out there. 832-243-4428. 832-243-4428. But Leon, we said, Sid and Harlem Heat forever linked to Shockmaster. You know something, Leon? I'm going to get the Shockmaster himself on the show. We're going to do a special show that I'm working on. The Shockmaster himself will be on the show with me. And do you know, Nobody that was on that stage today has ever had banter about what happened that day. Now, you've heard him talk about it. You heard different people talk about it individually. But no, you haven't heard anybody talk about it as to when everything was going down, Leon, that day. So you stay tuned for that. That's going to be a good one, man. I've been setting it up. And remember last time, I don't know if you guys remember, last time I tried to set that up, Fred, that's his real name, Fred. Fred was having some problems with his audio. And as a matter of fact, it was a StreamYard thing. It wasn't just, I thought it was him, but it was actually me. And a lot of people was having problems with their StreamYard. Hey, Queen, what's up? And I didn't get the email till later that night. StreamYard sent me, well, has anybody been having problems or blah, blah, blah. It's too late now. You know, we had everything ready to go. But be that as it may, like I said, Sid came down. He wanted to come down and work with us, man, and see, you know, because he had this whole thing written out for us to be with him as him and the Colonel was doing this thing with the pay-per-view against Sting and who else was that? Davey Boy and I don't even remember now. You guys remember that stuff better than I do. When did you in book start calling everybody sucker? Now, I'm telling a story about Sid Vicious and somebody who that Mel. You asked me about sucker. I've been calling people sucker since I was 5 years old. Sucker, you dig it? Where you think I'm from, man? Back in those days, everybody called each other sucker. You think that happened because of professional wrestling? I'm an African-American kid from Southeast Houston. Sucker. That's your everyday vocabulary. Sucker. Can you dig it? I hope I answered that for you. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. This is a true story. This is a true story, guys. Now, Leon, you crazy. Leon say suck and fruit booty. Now the fruit booty thing came at another time, but that's a whole nother story. I'll give you that one another night. This is a true story, man. This is how Sid Vicious came down and scouted me and my brother in Global. I don't know how he pulled this off. I've never talked to him about it. I never asked him questions, but they let Sid come in to work a tag match. Now, against me and my brother. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to have the professor on, Mr. Avi Klein, a very good friend of mine. He's been on the show before in the past. And he's like one of the last people I know that has communicated with Sid. And we're going to let him come on and say a few words about Sid in a minute. But Sid comes down to Global. Okay? And he's got a guy with him named Johnny Rotten. Okay? His tag partner. And him and his tag partner is going to work. I don't know how Sid talked to the office and, hey, I got my guy here. We're going to work with Harlem Heat and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and then Global's like, oh, man, Sid Vicious is here. He's going to, you know, he's a big name guy. He's working at WCW right now. And he's going to do come on television and go against Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray. So we go over the match. I'll let you guys know. I'm letting you in the business now. We go over the match and everything in the back. And we go out and do me and my brother baby faces. We go out and then Sid and his partner comes out and they both dressed just alike. And I was like, wow, that's kind of peculiar at the time. You know, I'm still kind of greenish. I hadn't been in the business for like 3.5 years, something like that. If that, maybe 3 years. So me and my brother we're doing all this different stuff. But every time the guy, Johnny Rotten, would get in the ring, he would just do like a twisty arm or something like that. And, you know, we sell for him, so on and so forth. And then he tag out to Sid. Okay, that did. Me and my brother like, okay, that didn't take long. This guy looked kind of stiff, kind of awkward. You know what I'm saying? We didn't think nothing of it. So then Sid would get back in. We do all these spots, boom, boom, boom. And then he tagged Johnny in, and Johnny would get in and get the arm, and we twist and we sell. And then I can't even remember what we did in the finish, man. It's been so long ago. This was like 1993, early 93 or something like that. And late 92, something like that. I can't even remember now. And we did the finish. I can't even remember what the finish was. But we were the tag champions, so we went over on them. Okay. We get in the back, we go over everything. Hey, man, good match, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Sid goes, hey, man, this is my address. I'm staying at the so-and-so hotel downtown Dallas. That's where we used to tape the stuff at in Dallas, right off the outskirts of downtown Dallas, the old Sportatorium. So me, my brother, and two girls we were dating at the time, we all go over to Sid's hotel. And him and his boy, Johnny, was in there, hey, come in, man. And we all shooting the shit and this, that, and the other. And then me and my brother go, hey, Johnny, man, you didn't do a lot tonight in the match. And then Sid go, oh, brother, I didn't tell y'all, man. He's not a wrestler. He's just my friend. He's not a wrestler, man. He's just a buddy of mine that I grew up with. I couldn't find somebody to do a tag match with me, so I taught him a couple of moves in the parking lot, and we did the. This was the craziest thing I ever heard of him. We died laughing. We couldn't believe this, man. But if anybody could pull something like that off in a wrestling territory, man, with a zillion wrestlers around, and go to the office and say, I got my own guy right here that we're going to tag, that I'm going to tag with, match with against the Ebony Experience. That's what I would name for it then, not Harlem Heat. And they go, okay, Sid, do whatever you want. Oh, my God. Those are the kind of memories I got of Sid, man. What a cool guy, man. What a cool guy, man. I mean, that right there showed me what kind of guy this was. When he wanted to get something done, it was going to be on his terms, man. He had a problem with it because that's just the way he was, man. He compromised to a certain degree, but if he thought he was right on something, brother, that's how he wanted it done, man. And God rest his soul, man. I didn't know that Sid had been ill. I've been hearing different things here lately that he had Hodgkin's lymphoma, and then something else popped up. And the human body can only deal with so much, man, even a big, strong guy like Sid, man. So, but let's get the professor on, man, because he's like one of the last people that I know that communicated with Sid, and we're gonna go from there. Let me get my headphones. Yo, Professor, are you out there?
Yes, sir. How are you, my friend?
What's going on, Avi? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Avi Klein. We call him the professor because this man knows all, does all, is all, and that's all I'm going to say about it, okay?
Man, that means a lot. That means a lot. Coming from you, because I've said this before, you are an educator, and you are a true, I like the word we talked about yesterday that you brought to my attention, the word Renaissance man. You are a Renaissance man.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. But Avi, the audience is here watching, man.
Yes, sir.
And we're live right now on Facebook. We're live right now on Twitch. And we're live right now on YouTube, Stevie Ray TV. Absolutely. And also, I got my phone watching. They can't hear you, though. But eventually, I'm going to get my Instagram guys down inside my StreamYard so everybody will be on in one night, Avi. But, Avi, you're one of the last people that you had Sid. Why don't you explain everybody your show and what you do on your show and your last communication with Sid, man? Because I know you had a lot of respect for the man also.
Absolutely. And to the viewers out there, Alvin Smith, Melman Charles, my screen's off, but when I come back, camera will be on. Guarantee you guys will be able to see me. But Stevie, again, before I even delve into Sid, love what you're doing with your network. Love what you're doing with your podcast. Great to be back. Sid spoke highly of you. It's interesting how we can interweave my last conversation with you How apropos is that? Because when I told him I was essentially inviting him to my TCAN celebrity tournament,
Right.
which has 131 Hall of Famers from the world of sports, pro wrestling, music, not to mention Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, Golden Globe, and Olympians all competing for the pride and the prize. He sounded stoked about it. But when he asked me if there's anyone he might know that's part of the tournament, I rattled off some names, and he said, yup, know him. Yup, worked with him. And as soon as I mentioned Stevie Ray, honest to God, he popped. He popped. You know, he had that big booming voice. As you know, Stevie, I love Stevie. And man, oh man, was he happy to. He's like, is Stevie gonna be a part of this? I go, man, anything I do involves that man, because he's always been like a big brother to me. And he said the same thing. He said, coming up, there was one thing he knew about you and your brother. He said they had a passion for the business, they cared about the business, and he really had fond memories of working with you early on. I asked him, I said, did you think Stevie would have succeeded and reached the heights that he did? He said, there's no question about it, because you can't tell Stevie otherwise. And so there was a lot of conversation about you, a lot of dialogue about you, my friend.
Let me ask you this, Avi. Yeah. Now, Sid competed on the show with you, right?
Sid was in the tournament, yeah.
Okay, how did he do?
Sid did well. He was set to come back in October. We're drawing all the names randomly for the second round participants on September 7th. And unfortunately, the last time I communicated with Sid, which was a few days before he passed, it was via text. Didn't sound too well. He told me he wasn't feeling well. Didn't elaborate. I didn't pry. And a week before then, when we spoke verbally, he was coughing. He wasn't feeling the best. Again, I didn't pry. Man, oh man, was Sid really proud of his grandchildren and his newly minted entrance into some Hall of Fame that he brought up, which wasn't the WWE. He was proud of that. And he was on the road, as you know, Stevie. He was traveling and meeting the fans.
Right. Yeah, I know he was out doing a lot of conventions and things of that nature. And as a matter of fact, one of the last times that I talked to him personally, when we were seeing each other, is the day I was doing some title match stuff, and I did that 2-hour, maybe 2.5-hour interview, just interviewing all kind of people all over the convention. We got so much mileage out of that. Do you remember that?
Do I remember it? Man, you were literally the show that night. I mean, you were talking to everybody from Boogeyman to Ron Simmons.
Do you remember? Oh man, yeah.
Eric Watts.
Yeah.
Can't remember if his dad was there or not, but you were.
No. I was interviewing his dad. That's why Eric was there.
That's what it was.
I was interviewing his dad because my grandmother was a big fan of Cowboy Bill Watts when I was a little kid.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, out in Mid-South area. The one interview, and there were so many, it's hard to choose. But number one, you brought a lot of levity to it. The one interview that I thought in that convention that really stood out was the one you had with Honky Tonk, man. I thought that was great.
That's my boy, man. Do you know that's my favorite Intercontinental Champion of all time?
You would mention that to him as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got such a kick. Avi, you hear me? Avi, I got such a kick when the Honky Tonk Man came in the ring with that guitar and he do his shake. Brother, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, man. I loved it, man. Oh my God, man. Thinking about Honky. Every time I see him, I tell him that. I said, brother, and I'm going to tell you something else. Honky took care of me and my brother one day.
Did he?
Yes. Honky took care of me and my brother one day, man. And we were stuck. I can't remember what city we was in. We were stuck somewhere. Honky picked us up, man.
Right.
Said, get in the car, Steven Booker. From now on, I don't want to see y'all without no wheels. That's what he always say. Where your wheels at, man? He said, where your wheels, man? Get in the car. No lie. So I've always had to, it didn't work out with him and Eric from what I heard, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But brother, what a cool guy, bro. What a cool guy. Not trying to get off Sid, but you know a lot of these guys as well as I do. And ladies and gentlemen, Avi is having some problems with his video screen, but we still got him on, whereas we can listen to him and listen to him talk. But the next time He's having some problem with his video screen, but we'll have him back on so you guys can see the professor, the great Avi Klein.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I totally will be able to communicate with you guys visually. But yeah, back to Sid, and really back to you as well. I asked him, I said, how long have you known Stevie? And he mentioned he rattled off the number. He said probably about 31 years. That's it's quite a while.
Right.
And when he mentioned how there was a lot of problems in the office back then with WCW and how they viewed certain talents.
Right.
That he had no problem going to bat for you guys because he knew that, number one, you guys were going to make money with anybody you worked with. And number two, again, there was never a team quite like the Harlem Heat. And maybe it wasn't just a WCW thing, so I'll ask you this. Maybe, just maybe, a lot of promotions wouldn't know how to even handle a Stevie Ray or Booker T back then.
Well, once that's true, because, ladies and gentlemen, Avi and I have talked about the wrestling business, the ins and outs of the wrestling business on a whole nother level, in which I do on this show. So if I say something to him and you guys don't really understand, it's because Avi is from the business and we talk to each other totally different than how I talk to you guys. So please don't hold that against us. But Avi, I've explained on many occasions how a lot of things work, as you well know.
Right.
But we're kind of educating the people right now when it comes to the African-American professional wrestler.
Yes.
And the thing is, I try to explain to people look at the next African-American guy like the last African-American guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So if that's the only thing in the professional wrestling business, if you're a booker or somebody putting matches together, somebody putting talent together, or a presentation to an audience, the only thing is the African-American from the professional wrestling plight.
Yes.
As of how you've ever seen it. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Okay, let me give you an example. I grew up watching Cowboys and Indians. So did you, right?
Right.
So the only thing I know about an Indian that he got feathers and he go around and go woo 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 woo, and he rides a horse and he hates the white man, right?
Sure.
But I read about the great Jim Thorpe.
Greatest athlete to ever participate in any of the sports, and there were many he participated in.
World's greatest athlete, right?
Absolutely.
So when I read that, how did you think I feel about what I had grown up just watching? You see what I'm saying?
I'm going to ask you a question. Did you feel a little betrayed?
Well, I'm not going to say betrayed. I don't think that would be the word, Avi.
Right.
I was like, this is another, I never knew anything about this. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
I never knew. Once I saw the movie, I went to the library and I started reading about Jim Thorpe, and I started reading about the indigenous people and as to what happened to them. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
On a real note, so that's why I say people that put wrestling shows together and wrestling talent, I don't blame them, but sometimes the only thing they know about any minority is what that minority has been in professional wrestling from one layer to another, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. That's all they can go on.
Right.
Yeah. And
so
I think when Sid brought up like your tenure in Global prior to WCW, he was watching. So, and again, that's according to Sid, because I asked him, I said, did you know much of Stevie and Booker prior to WCW? He goes, I was watching them in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So he was privy to what you guys brought to the table. And he definitely went to bat for you guys. There's no doubt about that. But then he didn't take credit for it. He goes, all I did was mention to, of course, the people upstairs, if that's the term you want to use.
Right. It was pretty much Dusty and Ole then.
Right. He said,
Dusty
all I
and
did
Ole.
was tell them, hey, you guys have something in these two talents, but you cannot promote them or book them the way that you usually have promoted other talent of color. And that was it. That's all, that's all he mentioned about that. And he was, again, excited to be able to see you again. And man, again, he spoke really well of you. He said you're one of the realest guys he's ever met, and he still keeps in touch with you.
Right. Yeah, we would talk every blue moon. Then all of a sudden, that kind of tapered off. Now I see why. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I helped him. I don't know if that was you I called. No, it wasn't you. I helped him get his podcast started.
Right.
Yeah, I helped him get his podcast started, and I, shifted him, gave him some phone numbers to call and stuff like that, and some different people to talk to.
Sure.
And they helped him out, man. So, this is a sad day, but then it's a happy day for me also, because it's a sad day because, one of the good guys of professional wrestling is not with us anymore. But I'm celebrating his existence, and I'm celebrating the fact that I got a chance to know him on a personal level. Remember, I told you, Avi, that he let me and my brother stay with him when we first moved to Atlanta.
Yes.
Remember I told you that?
So he was a friend outside of the business too, early on.
Oh, well, not really, but we became friends like that.
Right.
He was almost like our handler.
Right.
When we first came in. And then you remember right after that, right after we got in, Sid was gone.
Yeah.
Remember?
The incident that took place.
He left and went back. He went to WWF, right?
Sure.
Right when we got in. So we didn't have that buffer anymore.
Right.
And nobody to lean on and talk to. You see what I'm saying? Because he was gone, man.
Did you feel like you guys needed to have enough clout at that point after Sid's departure?
Well, see, this is the thing, Avi, and that's a damn good question. It's like coming into a new school.
Right.
But somebody you already know is already at the school. You understand?
Yes,
it's like you come to a new school and your cousin already go to that school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So your cousin gonna take care of you because he's your family, right?
Sure.
Okay. Then all of a sudden, within a month or two, your cousin's not at that school anymore.
Right. Now you got to fend for yourself.
Right. So it was kind of like, I don't know if that's a good analogy. I don't know if that's the best analogy.
Yeah.
But that is how we saw it, because right after that, him and Ole were tight.
Right.
Sid and Ole Anderson was tight. Well, what happened right after that? Ole's gone too. You see what I'm saying?
So now it's kind of like maybe not a definite, but the possibility of swimming with sharks was something that might have crossed your mind at that point.
Well, I put it like this. The only thing we could do is go out and work hard every day, because I'm going to tell you what we did. And I'll share this with you, Ole. I mean, not Ole, but Avi.
Sure.
I don't know. Ole might be a good name, might be a good second name for you, Avi.
3 letters works. I don't mind an extra vowel. Give me another vowel.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're conversating right now with the great Avi Klein. I call him the professor. You guys will be seeing more of him because he's having some video problems. But hey, don't hold it against us. At least he was willing to come on and have some conversation with us about the great Sid Vicious, of which we this whole conversation is based around. So, Avi, this is what me and my brother came up with.
Right.
I've told the story about Ole Anderson. We were supposed to get, he told us, and these are his exact words. I told this story during the Hall of Fame speech.
Sure.
Ole came to us and said, they want me to send y'all black asses back to Texas.
Wow.
Now I'm like, wait up, dog. I know I'm black, but God damn, wait a minute, Aubrey. You know what I'm saying? But he said, I'm not going to do it because I think you guys can make money for me. See, Ole was old. You hear the term old school?
All you gotta do is omit. You gotta omit the letter D and just go old school with him, right? I mean, that's who he was.
Oh man, when I say old school, Ole wasn't no joke, bro.
He didn't mince any words.
Oh, brother, that's why he got so much heat in the business. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
But I'm a guy that came up playing football and stuff like that, and So being from my community, African American community, south side of Houston, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk to you like that. You know, if you play sports.
Sure.
And your mother, your father, your uncle, your grandparents, nobody can help your ass.
Right.
You don't like it, quit. That's what your parents will tell you.
Sure.
If you can't take it, get out. But don't ask me for, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way it was.
That hard-nosed direct approach was the norm.
Brother, that is that's why this stuff did roll off me and my brother's back. This, you know what I'm saying? That's the way your family talks to you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You want to play this, you bet not quit. Because if I get my hard-earned money to buy these uniforms, these sneakers, these whatever, you know, back in those days, just everybody, you had to have a certain amount of money to participate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, $25 for a physical, on and on and on, brother. Your parents didn't play. They didn't play. The coaches didn't play. It wasn't no such thing as everybody cool with you.
That's true. Right.
You know, so I'm putting it in that context.
Right.
Because that's how he was. But we understood that, though. We know he didn't mean that in a malicious way. We knew he meant that in, hey, brother, you got to bust your ass to make it round here.
In a hard-nosed Coach Bear Bryant kind of a way.
Yeah.
Right.
So he was like, I want you guys to, Dusty is waiting down at center stage. I want you to go down and, you know, find a new name and this, that, and the other. And we're going to start from that. You hear me?
Sure.
Now get your ass out of here. Okay.
Wow.
And we went in thinking, hey, we did good last night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We did good last night, man.
On a high.
Oh, right. We get a phone call from the office, and Stevie Booker, they want to see you down at the North Tower and Ole Anderson's office. We like, oh man, we're gonna get a contract. Avi, you hear me? You don't even hear me, Avi. You don't even hear the jubilance. You don't hear it, bro.
Yes.
Can you dig where I'm coming from?
I can feel it.
Oh, brother, me and my brother we hop in the car, man. We hauling ass. We hauling ass downtown Atlanta. Here we go, man. We like the Beverly Hillbillies, brother.
Yes.
You know, we go in the office. Oh, we go down North Tower. Oh, go right this way. You know, we go in there, sit down. This dude closed the door. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Behind us. You know. Yeah. And now we're like, wow, that was kind of hard. You know,
it's kind of like when reality set in. Ole style.
Yeah. Last night was a disaster. That's how he started. It's like, man, this is like a rerun of the Alan Brady show on.
Hey, and rumor has it that he was having a good day. He was having a good day that day.
Oh my goodness, man! This is a true story, Avi. This is a true story.
I believe it. I believe it.
I swear to God, this is a true story, man.
Now, wait, I have to ask you this question.
Go ahead.
So, you know, you guys had some experience, and hey, man, I want the audience to know this as well. Prior to wrestling, they probably already know this because you're humble, so you may not have mentioned this, but you had a lot of life experience prior to pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and you've athletes, man, you've not only mingled but befriended a lot of luminaries. Now, were you privy to Ole's reputation prior to this? Did you kind of know this was Ole?
A little.
Okay.
But this is one thing you got to realize, Avi.
Right.
Somebody telling you something and then you witness it.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yes.
Okay. You know,
two different things.
Oh man, what an eye opener! You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I'm going in, you know, like, you know, okay, yeah. Then all of a sudden, reality sets in, like you were talking about, and then me and my brother looking at each other like, we're in the twilight zone. Last night, you were really nice to us, Ole. You were really nice to us. Now today, you about to take our heads off, man.
Yes.
So I guess someone had almost taken his head off. You did?
Right.
You know, the powers that be over him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because what happened was a lot of people got really offended. Avi, I don't know if I've ever told you this story.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever told it to you, and I don't know. I know I never really told it to the audience.
Right.
A few of my friends know about it, and a lot of people heard it through the grapevine, but they really didn't know what happened So you know how people take rumors and take off running with them.
Absolutely.
And because it was something me and my brother never really talked about. And that's how me and my brother was. We never really talked about a lot of things that we witnessed or was privy to, like you were just saying, this, that, and the other. Because we're not gossip guys. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got a show called Gossip Girls.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not a girl.
That's right.
I'm a man.
Yep.
And whatever I witness, you know, stays with, you know what I'm saying? My name Bennett and I ain't in it. That's just the way I was raised.
That's it.
That's just the way I was raised. Tell nobody how to do. But anyway, what happened was when they brought us in, they wanted us to be the chain gang. Did I ever tell you about this?
You did. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell the audience now.
Sure.
Okay, guys. They wanted me and my brother to be the chain gang.
Unbelievable.
And the chain gang was two African-American brothers that had been unjustly put in jail.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know, really truly, that's kind of like a story that we hear every day. But we were gonna do it through the wrestling business.
Unbelievable.
So the Colonel, Rob Parker at the time, remember the gimmick he was doing with the white suit and the big hat and all that kind of stuff. Had a poker game with the governor. And he beat the governor out a whole lot of money. The governor owed him a whole lot of money. So Rob, being the colonel, said, well, you won't have to pay me all the money if you can pardon a couple of people that, you know, the lady that works for me, sons, will put in jail unjustly. Now, all of this never came out on television, but this was the pretty much synopsis of the whole thing.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. So I think I told you about this, but I never got in depth in it with you. Because I think I've only got in depth in it a couple of times. Never on a podcast. This is the first time.
Right. And definitely not as in depth. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think I told you the outlines of it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the way. That's why me and my brother came down with the shirts on, jeans, and boots. We had like a number around on our chest. Okay. And we had a chain. We kept chains with us, kind of like the junkyard dog, to remind us of our bondage.
Jesus.
Okay. Now get this.
1993. Oh my God. 1993.
Yes. Get this, brother. Get this, dog. We didn't give it any critical thought at the time.
Right.
Because you know me, Avi. I kind of consider myself a critical thinker. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I'm trying to get in the wrestling business right now, Avi. Because in the wrestling business, you're still playing a role.
Right.
Just like a movie. You know, I came up watching Sidney Poitier and Tony Curtis.
Yes.
Okay. In the Defiant Ones.
Right.
Right?
So you're kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt and perhaps trying to convince yourself that, you know what? I'm a storyteller. I'll make it work. Is that kind of right? Your mindset. Okay, got it.
Right. Yeah, we'll make it work.
Make it work.
Okay. But see, this is the thing, Avi. It was only an idea. Dig?
Got it.
It was only an idea. It hadn't went to the powers to be yet.
Right.
So I want you to understand that, and I want the guys out there listening to understand that.
Sure.
You're right, Mel, Kane, and Cole. All right. So we get our tryout match. Okay? It's Center Stage. We get our tryout match. Now, we just got to Atlanta. We just got there maybe a day or so before. It was like a Tuesday night. I'll never forget it. And that's when we do the TV tapings in Center Stage.
Which was not like considered the greatest area either.
What's that?
That area around Center Stage. They kind of dressed up that whole place.
Well, you know something, to be honest, so many people came to that area because they had a zillion bands and this, that, and the other. It reminds me of a place here called the Arena Theater that used to be one of my contracts. But anyway,
Sure.
I didn't know the city, anyway, so I'm just getting there.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were taping. Now, our match was supposed to be dark.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our match was supposed to be dark. Well, it was dark. That's why nobody ever seen it on television. We did 2 matches. I think we did 2 matches in that gimmick.
Wow.
And I think both of them were that night. But no. One we did one because I remember tearing my jeans after that. The next time we did it, we didn't have the jeans on. We had the shirts on, but we had our tights on.
Same gimmick.
So no, we did one match in that deal. One. So anyway, we came. I mean, the Colonel had just been out with somebody. I don't know if he was out there with Sid. I don't know if he was managing someone else at that time.
Sure.
So we're getting ready to go out as they're coming back in. And they do the dark matches when, I don't know if they doing something with the tape or whatever. But we had like 3 or 4 dark matches that night with my brother and I and other people that I can't even remember who they were. Kind of like auditions. You dig?
Yes.
Kind of like auditions. So me and my brother go out and do our thing, man, with the chain, and we come out and this, that, and the other. And right before we go out, we could hear somebody, but we couldn't see who it was, saying, "Colonel, go out with him." I don't know if it was Sid or who. And the Colonel was like, "Well, I don't supposed to go out with them." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we heard somebody go out with him.
Oh, no.
And so he turned around and walked out in front of us. You see what I'm saying?
God. Yes, yes.
Are you getting this, Avi?
I'm getting it. I'm seeing the connotation. I'm seeing the imagery. I'm seeing everything right now. This whole thing, just based on how it looks in my mind, went from bad to worse real quick.
So now you see what I'm talking
remind the
about.
viewers, we got a guy that essentially is Elvis's manager. This is Colonel Parker, right?
Right.
Tall white guy, Robert Fuller, tall white guy.
Right. Good
got
dude,
the hat
man.
on,
Good,
got the
good
cigar.
dude. Love him to death.
Right. And he's now managing you guys in that gimmick. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right.
Wow.
So he walks out with us. Me and my brother. Now these people ain't never seen us before.
Right.
They never. They didn't even know that Booker T and Stevie Ray had left Global.
Sure.
The big baby faces, and they didn't even realize that them the same 2 guys. You dig what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
Because we're not dressed like Booker T and Stevie Ray. We dress like, we got shirts on and pants on and boots on, like some guys you would see at a place where they're being held down,
oh man,
and we coming out with our heads down, and we got the chains over our shoulder, kind of like, remember Hercules Hernandez?
Yes, sir.
Remember Hercules used to come out with the chain?
Come out that big chain, that's right.
Right. So that's how we were with our heads down. We get in the ring. They ding, ding, and me and my brother just started going off on the guys. Boom, 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 and took the chain and hung the guy, throw him over the top rope, and this, that, and the other. And Rob is out there, get him, get him.
Right. Jesus. Oh my God.
Rob is out there like, that's right, boy. Get him.
What a time capsule.
Oh my goodness. This is true. Avi, this is true story. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Avi. We finished the match.
Yeah.
We go back in, and Ole Anderson comes up to me and my brother and go, "Okay, I see you guys can work. Now I just need to know if y'all can make money for me, okay?" And we were like, "Okay, man," you know what I'm saying? And that was it. We went, took a shower, got back in our car, went back to the hotel we were staying in, you know what I'm saying? And
sure.
And that was it until the next morning. We get a call to come down to the North Tower, and the rest is history.
And you didn't have to ever explain the gimmick to anyone. I mean, essentially, it was a clean slate after that. You guys weren't depicting the same characters beyond that point.
Right. That is what I'm saying. But everybody that was sitting in the audience, Avi.
Oh.
Now, you remember the picture you just had in your head a few minutes ago?
Yes, sir.
That's what went up to the North Tower, the executives.
Oh, no.
You dig what I'm saying?
Oh my God, Stevie. I'm thinking to myself, and this is around the same time, Stevie, that Bill Watts gets fired
Right.
because of the whole heat he had with Hank Aaron.
Right. Right.
You know, for the fans out there, Hank Aaron was a top executive in CNN Towers. And they caught some article from like 5 years ago about Bill
Right.
Watts talking about if you were a restaurant owner, yada, yada, yada. You could find it
Yep.
online.
Right.
He gets the heat, he gets fired. And now this gimmick.
Right.
Jeez Louise. The PR team was probably
Livid.
livid. I mean,
Livid.
oh my God.
Yes. But like I
this
said,
is a publicly traded company. Oh my
good
God.
thing. Oh, brother. This is imagine if that had been put on television without the executive knowing.
Unbelievable. Unreal. If this thing was on TV without the green light from the execs. Now let me ask you this. If that did happen, would you guys have been dismissed as a result?
Oh, no doubt. You know why? Because the lawsuits are coming.
Right.
Then again, that is why I give only so much praise.
Okay.
He was told to get rid of us.
Yeah. Okay. Not to.
You understand? You remember I told you that?
Right.
He was told to get rid of us.
Right.
Because he knew the heat. Somebody was trying to escape the heat.
Right. Maybe that's where the heat came from, Harlem Heat.
Maybe it is.
There was some heat there. I mean,
because he told us to go down, get rid of that gimmick. You don't want to see it again, and come up with something new. And that's how Harlem Heat was born.
Wow.
So in essence, it's good and bad till you know what I'm saying. That's just how this business works.
I remember
if it wasn't for that, be honest. If it wasn't for that fiasco,
sure,
there would never be a Harlem Heat.
That is one hell of a story.
Is that crazy?
It's crazy. Those turn of events led to Harlem Heat. I asked Sid because, again, topic of conversation, 80% was Stevie. And I asked Sid, I said, when you guys worked together, there was some big pay-per-view you guys were all in the ring together. He said, he stopped me right there. He said, I knew they were going to main event really soon. He goes, they weren't rookies. They might have been unknowns to the national audience, but these guys weren't rookies. So he definitely had faith in your abilities. But as you mentioned, now he's gone. And now Ole's gone.
Right.
And now there's the Shark Tank. And you guys were able to become the most successful tag team. And I have to believe a big part of that was your confidence in yourself and your brother and your ability to handle yourself as a pro the way that you did.
Well, we knew the fix was in. We knew what was going on. The more you stay around, the more you learn what's going on. Okay. And what we were trying to do is get as much television as we possibly could. So that's why we changed our uniforms. You know what I'm saying? We started making a couple of bucks, and we had some different uniforms designed. We designed them myself. Me and my brother designed our own uniforms. We came out with our look. That whole thing, the attitude, the way we worked, the way we talked, the way we walked, everything was done between me and my brother.
Were there any roadblocks along the way? Was there any sort of resistance to the creativity that you brought to the table?
No.
Okay.
No, because nobody knew how to think for the African-American wrestler.
Right. Now,
you got to realize the 90s, the 90s things are changing.
Yes.
You dig? The 90s things are changing. You got people like Dennis Rodman dressing in women's bridal gear. You know what I'm saying?
The same season he started dyeing his hair and acting up in San Antonio.
Right.
At the same time you guys came into WCW.
Right. So you're starting to see different things happen, traditionally that you hadn't really seen before.
Good point.
So it was time to stop using the African-American wrestler in the same, ideology, if you will.
Absolutely.
That you've been looking at for the past few decades. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And the one thing me and my brother would always tell people, we don't dance and our heads are not hard.
Sure.
You remember what I'm saying? Ain't no shucking and jiving and, oh, yeah, baby, and jumping up like you this, that, and the other and giving somebody a hit, but you got a hard head because the old theory of all black people got hard heads.
Right.
So that was two things we would always tell people. We don't do that.
Well, the thing is, to fast forward a bit, I have to ask a question. Were there ever any professional wrestling talents that through the years, maybe fast forwarding a bit, came up to you during their run or maybe after their run, thanking you for being able to represent Black America the way that maybe it wasn't represented in
Oh, no, not just wrestlers, Avi.
Ooh, okay.
Now, who was that just said? New Jack said Tony Atlas said black wrestlers back decades with Saba Simba. But, New Jack, and I understand where New Jack is coming from on that. Whoever said that.
Mystify D.
I can't see who asked that.
That's a Mystify D.
Oh, that's Mystify. Yeah, Mystify. But you got to realize something. I was going to do, as a matter of fact, guys, when I was told you I was writing a book about professional wrestling,
sure.
I didn't want to say anything about it, but since you brought that up, I will. A piece of that is in my book.
Wow.
I'll explain it to you, Avi,
yeah.
after, you know what I'm saying, not on the show.
Of course.
But I'm going to chronicle that. I'm going to chronicle that. But in essence, that goes back to what I'm talking about.
Sure.
The stereotypical person in wrestling is how he looks at the African-American wrestler. You see what I'm saying?
Well said.
So in essence, and I think, Avi, I think you know what I'm talking about without saying it. But
yes, sir.
Oh yeah, this goes way back. But
so there were a lot of individuals from all walks of life who would thank you for your representation.
Oh my God, brother. You don't know how many people I met.
Sure.
That was like, brother, I love watching you guys, man. You guys are this and you guys are that. I'm talking about football players, basketball players, baseball players, black, white, Hispanic. I'm talking auto racing.
It was refreshing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious.
I've said this story on my show many times, and a couple of my friends who've been on, of course, attested to it, although I don't like to bring on a lot of my friends, but a couple of them from high school, we did this reunion special on my show, as being one of two Caucasian kids in my high school in Jamaica High in Queens, New York. I'm going to tell you right now, it was refreshing for me to finally see talent that's being represented for who they are as human beings, genuine depictions of who they are, rather than some caricature that some guy in a suit created.
Right. Exactly. And if it's not authentic, it doesn't get over. It's just something to watch.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
It makes perfect
sense. It's something to watch because you've seen it before. You've seen this movie before. And two of the things that me and my brother used to always talk about is black exploitation movies.
Yes. Oh, gosh, yes.
There's two things me and my brother used to always talk about. But we talk about it in a literal sense as to where other people can't understand exactly what we're talking about. Because they don't see what we see.
Or what you experienced, right.
Right. They don't see what we see. So in essence, you got to bring an authenticity to something to make it work when you're talking about something that's from a minority aspect. If that makes sense. Especially when you're going into new times. When you're going into the evolution of professional wrestling, because now professional wrestling is becoming more mainstream. And it's becoming more pop culture. So you want to run with that.
Right.
You want to run with that instead of taking it and putting it in a box that everybody has seen before. You know what I'm saying? So in essence, we really appreciate WCW giving us the creativity to come up with Harlem Heat and make the Booker T and Stevie Ray character into how they see them in a professional wrestling genre.
Was that throughout the entire run? Was there any pushback at any point?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. That's what I really love about it.
Sure.
That's what I really give them credit for. Because it was like, whatever you guys think. We would go to, somebody like Kevin, God rest his soul also.
Sure.
And, hey, Kevin, blah, blah, blah. We think it'll be, and Kevin's like, I see that. You know what I'm saying? Certain things we wanted to say, certain things we wanted to say and how we say it. And it's like, Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. But see, that's the thing when you make somebody understand something from a creative point of view
Sure.
and they have the open mind to listen to it and go, okay, yeah, instead of being afraid. You dig what I'm
Right.
saying? And it worked every time, Avi. It
Yeah.
worked every time.
Well, there's that. It reminds me of that quote from Frederick Douglass: "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and never will." And sometimes you have to take that stand.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
But you did so in a publicly traded company in
Right.
which you and Booker T were experiencing your rookie year in '93, and still, like you said, giving the company credit. But you guys still carried yourselves as the professionals that you were, and I don't think they would have had the confidence in you guys had you not. So I think it's really how you carry yourself. You've mentioned to me time and again, you've passed that along to some of the younger guys who would come into the locker room later on.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Because you got to tread water a little different.
Yes.
But you got to know how to tread water.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Would you think your life experiences prior to pro wrestling helped you in that situation?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because I wasn't wooed by the whole thing.
Right.
I wasn't wooed by it. You know, I didn't think I was in Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
It does, considering that you already were on a bigger stage in a different field years earlier. So yeah.
Right. Because I already know this ain't Alice in Wonderland, brother. This is Vietnam.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? This is more like Vietnam than Alice in Wonderland.
Right.
And in Vietnam, what do you want to do? You want to do your job and come home.
Come home as soon as you can. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So I looked at it in those terms, you know. And also, you know, at that time, we were trying to get as much TV as we possibly could. And other people, because a lot of people don't know this. Me and my brother were negotiating to go to WWE.
At the time, okay.
Not at that time, but a little after. After we had started getting a push and stuff like that. Because what we were trying to do before we tried to start getting a push, we wanted to do as much on TV as we possibly could because we knew we could go to WWE.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what we were going to do. I've never said that. I've never said that on anybody's show.
Wow.
Because at the time, we was like, well, we've been the champions here 2-3 times. We can't do any more here. And then all of a sudden, we don't know if WCW found out about it or whatever because they tore our contracts up. Sure. But we're still under contract.
Sure.
They tore our contracts up, and then Eric Bischoff, and he gave us new contracts that we couldn't turn down.
There's one of your viewers here. Hey, hope you do well. Don't ever consider suicide as an option, Matthew. Ever. Don't ever consider suicide as an option, Matthew. So yeah, call a hotline and hopefully you have a good support team around you. But
Leon.
Yeah.
Matthew, you say Leon?
Scrolling up here, Matthew had said, just to read this here, guys, because we appreciate all your comments. You guys love this show and you should. Matthew said, Jesus, to lose Kevin and Sid so close to each other. I try to slit my wrists. I'm so lost, and I've been crying nonstop. And I'll call a hotline. Hang in there, Matthew. Hang in there.
Most definitely. Brother, you know, Matthew, is Matthew saying that he's considering that? Matthew is a good, he watches religiously.
Right.
And Matthew, at the end of the day, man, when it's time for us to go, it's time for us to go, man.
Amen.
And those guys live productive lives, and those guys live long lives. And those guys gave back as much as they could possibly give back. And they brought a lot of joy and happiness to a lot of other people. But when the good Lord calls you, brother, you know, it's just time.
Amen to that.
It's just time. So don't slit your wrist or anything like that, man. Celebrate those guys.
Yes.
Don't bury your head, man. Don't bury your body. Don't bury your soul. Celebrate those guys, man. That's why I say I'm sad, but I'm happy at the same time because
well said.
Both of those guys were in my life. Both of them were in my life, and both of them played very important parts of my life with my career. And I can take from that and apply it and give it to younger guys coming up under me what I learned from those guys, man. That's what life is about, man.
Sure.
Uplifting your fellow man.
Yes.
Making a difference in your surroundings. Because I'm going to tell you something, Matthew. You never know who's looking up to you.
Yes.
You never know who's watching you. So we have to be that. Now, I know we see a lot of television and different things and music and all this stuff that's so inverted. To keep your mind thinking this way and the real stuff is going on over here. Get away from it.
That's right.
Create your own life. Create your own inner circle. Because, see, don't nobody love you like you.
Amen.
And you got to know that. And you never know how many people are watching you. You love you, but you always got to remember there are other people that love you also. And you got to be there for them, bro.
That's beautiful, man.
Got to be there for them.
That's beautiful.
So, brother, Sid was a good dude. Kevin was a good dude. I got so many stories. I got some stories about Kevin, but I can't tell them on the show.
Let me
I can't tell them on the show.
Now, the thing with Kevin is he had the book for a long time.
Yes.
And yeah, so I mean, really, essentially, you hear all of the guys who worked in that locker room talking about how they owed him their careers. What bigger compliment is that?
Talking about what?
What a big compliment.
What was that again? They said what?
To celebrate his life, there's been so many wrestlers who recently have come out on social media saying, we owe this man our careers. What bigger compliment there is that? What a compliment.
Hey, brother, I'm saying that right now.
Right.
I'm saying that right now. When I tell you, Kevin, Avi, I call you the professor.
I'm humbled. You've educated me a lot.
I appreciate that. Because of your vast knowledge on so much stuff. And ladies and gentlemen out there, Avi has done a lot. He's put in the wrench time. This guy's an educator, okay? And you all know how we feel about educators, okay? But at the end of the day,
thank you.
When I posted, when Kevin Sullivan, when we lost Kevin, I posted on my social media,
right,
that this guy was a genius. This guy's mind went deep.
Sure.
I'm serious. And I'm not just talking about pro wrestling. You have to have a very deep-seated mind on things the way Kevin Sullivan comes up with stuff, bro.
Incredible.
Seriously. I can see it. I don't know if other people can. From a creative standpoint, this is a different kind of dude, bro. He's a different kind of dude. But I'm so glad that I got to work under Kevin Sullivan's tutelage. I'm so glad. And I don't remember what I didn't come up with a lot of stories when Kevin passed. I don't know. I think I was just paying homage to him.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, brother, Kevin Sullivan was the real deal.
Yeah.
The real deal. And hey, man, that's just the way it goes, bro. But hey, don't feel like it's the end of the world, man. Celebrate these guys' lives.
Right.
Man.
That's right.
Celebrate it.
It's very true.
You know,
there's a difference between knowing your path and walking the path, and you got to walk that path.
Yes.
You know it. You know what you have in store for the world. Just walk it and don't run it because it's a marathon. There's no race. No race.
Now Matthew is saying he will find help and he's sorry. Matthew, ain't nothing to be sorry about, man. We all go through mental struggles, man. Hell, I know a lot of people don't think it, but I've gone through mental struggles. Yes. Sure. Nobody's impervious to it.
Sure.
Nobody's above it. Ain't nothing to feel bad about.
That's right.
Seek help.
That's right.
That's all. Don't feel bad about seeking help. We all
Yeah,
need help from one time to another.
there's billions of us here on this planet for a reason. You're right.
Yeah. It's a billion of us. What is it now? 7.8 billion?
Almost 8 billion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, India's got about 4 billion. Hey, I got a little observation here. I just jotted this down the other day because I'm a writer. It's what I do. Hey, I'm going to ask you a question. Shouldn't bald, hairy men use shampoo on their bodies and body wash on their heads?
What makes you think they don't?
I don't know. They haven't told me.
Well, maybe you should ask them.
Maybe I should. How about another one? You ever notice the word bed? When you spell it lowercase, the word bed looks like a bed?
Yes. Got one prop up on one end, another prop on the other end. Where your feet go and where your head go.
That's it. Man, I gotta tell you, man, this has been a blast. Well, by the way, golf. I'm not into golf. You're not into golf, but do you realize the object of golf is to play the least amount of golf?
Yes.
That's
my brother's a big golf. My brother, two of my brothers was big golfers.
Now, why did you never get into golf, Stevie?
I hate it.
I mean, I do too. But what did you ever try to play the
Oh
game?
yeah. Oh yeah. You know, but no, golf is. I'm into action, speed. You know that, obviously.
Yes.
I'm into boxing, auto racing, MMA, things of that nature, man. Motorcycles. Those are the things that relax me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And golf, hitting the ball, it's just not me. And then again, I came up at a time where a lot of people like yourself and a lot of people like myself wasn't even able to go to certain places
That is the truth.
where you played golf.
That is the truth. That's some
and
truth.
that me coming up at that time,
right?
Coming up in those times and hearing that always turned me off to golf. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It is what it is,
Sure.
and we'll buy it. But as a kid, you know what I'm saying? I'm reading these things and I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just left a bad taste in my mouth, Avi.
Right. No, as it should. As it should. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
But so in essence, the one time I really tried it, my heart wasn't in it. And I think that was because a girl was involved, if you see what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, my heart wasn't in it. And I'm not going to sit here and act as though, as far as I'm concerned, if it was up to me, if I could be president, if I could. Are
we going to get a Stevieville reference?
Well, no, this before I go to Stevieville. This before I start building up Stevieville.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the United Nations. Then I'm going to Congress.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is all golf courses in the United States of America.
Right.
Each and every last one of them.
Yes.
We're going to take half of the golf courses. Okay?
Yep.
And we're going to build homes.
Ooh, I like it.
We're going to build homes for underprivileged people that qualify to be in these homes.
I love that idea. I think it's a great idea.
And we're going to take the properties. As a matter of fact, whoever owns these things is going to donate it. Okay?
Yes.
You're going to donate it. The government will take care of you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about people that are just, that some people consider, just low income. No.
Right.
These are for the upstarts that are trying to make it. So that's what we're going to do. Government's going to put up all the money. And then after that becomes successful, I'm going to go on a tangent to shut down. Okay?
The other 50% of the golf courses.
No, only the public ones.
Right.
Only the public ones. Okay?
Yeah.
And we're going to make those golf courses into parks.
I like it. I like that.
That's what we're going to do. So don't put me in charge. Avi, don't put me in charge.
I'm telling you, I think I might have to. I would love this. Hey, let me ask you, if there was only one golf course in the entire United States of America, True or false, Stevie? Would that one golf course somehow find its way being televised by CBS? Yes, it would.
Yes.
Yes. No matter what, the suits and ties are going to televise golf and push it down our throats. I can't even watch it on TV, Stevie.
Some people, golf, you either in it or you're not.
I just can't watch it on TV.
You know
Ray Dog, Real Cold G says Ray Dog was a dancing champion, Avi. That's from Ray Dog.
First of all, real cool. I don't need you putting my business in the street. Okay? I don't need you putting my business in the street. You know what I'm saying? Just where you get off, dog? Where you get off? Real cool. Ray Dog was a damn champ. Like, if I want him to know that, I'll let him know. What about that? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna ask.
What about that?
I'm not gonna ask.
You know, you think Ray Dog just woke up and popped up in a wrestling ring? Like I didn't have a life before I got in the wrestling ring? Kidding me?
Well,
yes, I was a dancing champion.
I could see it. I could see it. Yeah.
Yes. That's right. Proud of it. Won money. Won trophies. Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know people look at me and go, no, he ain't none of that. Yes.
No, I believe
you probably could have called me Twinkle Toes back in the day.
That's why I call Stevie a Renaissance. And look, you know what? You read my mind, Real Cold G. Renaissance man. He's a true Renaissance man. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Leon says sweet feet.
Sweet feet Stevie. That's true about not having a life. You know, when we were kids, we didn't think our teachers had lives. Remember that? We just thought they lived in the school.
They thought we lived. Yeah, you thought the people in the cafeteria woke up in the cafeteria every day, baking bread. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, man. That is true. Tell him,
Avi.
I know what you're trying to say. That with QTGM, you know what that is? You know what that stands for, Stevie?
What is that?
So this is from Mr. KGB. He typed in QG. That means Queens get the money. I'm guessing. I think that Queens get the money. So those are some lyrics in some Nas videos. Queens get the money.
Okay, but I'm trying to figure out why he's telling us.
I think he heard it from Queens, New York, so he's kind of typing in the Queens get the money thing. Man, I'll tell you what, though. I used to teach for a living. I wasn't getting the money. They weren't offering. They weren't
get the money.
So then I left and started getting it. That's how it happened.
Right. That's how it works, bro.
That's how it works.
It ain't where you're at, brother. It's where you're trying to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know
what? Don't be content with where you are.
Screenwriting, do the screenwriting for a studio that bought me a house and doing this network now with everyone, guys and gals I work with. I give credit to Stevie because years ago when I was collaborating with Stevie, we did Vegas together. We did a show together in Vegas, StarCast in 2019. And I learned a lot. And I'm still learning a lot from this man because he's a friend. And the Stevie you see here, guys, on camera, I can attest that's the Stevie you're going to get off camera. I mean, you keep
they know that
24/7, 24/7.
Oh, they know that. Who was that just said? Dale Richardson. Have you still got your trophy? You know, I don't, man. That's been so long ago, man.
Man, that's pretty.
But no, I don't, man. Matter of fact, I've never been a guy that looks back on. You know, I had one room in my house where you could see my accolades and things of that nature because I don't.
You don't celebrate yourself.
No. Because I'm always looking for the next thing to get that high from, bro.
Yes.
Not that I don't appreciate it. You know, I still got all my stuff boxed up in boxes and stuff like that, man. I still got a lot of stuff boxed up in boxes, man. So I don't know. And I keep saying I'm going to put a lot of them up in different places, but I don't do it, man. I'm lazy. I'm lazy like that.
You're not lazy. You're just very inquisitive.
You can say that.
Yeah. But he did say this. Yeah. He says, have you, this is, I think, again, from Real Cold G, from Dale, have you still got the dancing trophy? So plural, there's more than one.
Yeah, it was more than one.
Okay.
I've won, the last trophy that I won, me and my partner, was in the Texas Nationals. And we won a trophy that was 6 foot tall.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. And that was out of 32 couples.
That's incredible, man.
32 couples, and we got 5th place.
A little secret to the fans. I actually knew this. Stevie and I had spoken about this
What is that?
many times years ago about the dancing, and it didn't
Oh, yeah.
surprise me then, it doesn't surprise me now. It just doesn't.
Yeah, but people look at me. But, then I took up bodybuilding and things of that nature, man. And
yeah, but you had this bicycle kick. You were very flexible in the ring. You had this. I don't know if I'm calling it the right way. I'm not a wrestling aficionado, but
yeah, you're right. It's a bicycle kick.
Man, that took a lot of flexibility to get that thing done. The way you kind of executed that. So
yeah, but you see, my brother was a dancer also.
Right.
Man, my brother was a hell of a dancer also. And my brother was a drum major.
Okay.
And y'all all know what drum majors have to do at black high schools or black universities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably the most athletic guy on the field with the band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Stevie, what sport, if you got into like a major sport outside of wrestling, what sport do you think it would have been?
Probably football.
Yeah, because you played football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One year of college but I was injured, man, and then my mother died.
Okay.
So I had to drop out of school.
Sure.
And but I look back on that now and go, man, it wasn't meant to be, man. You know what I'm saying? But I was tight end and wide receiver in school, in high school, tight end, wide receiver. And sometime I could play safety. Sometimes I could play safety. So that's why, Avi, you and I have had conversations about LeBron James. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
But I also was a hell of a basketball player. I played JV basketball in high school also. I also ran
the 4 or the 5?
Actually, it was a 4 and 5. I mean, I'm sorry, 3 and 4.
Gotcha.
3 and 4. But also, but that was only 1 year because I played so much stuff. But I also ran track.
Sure.
Me and Darryl Green ran track on the same track team.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
And Darryl Green will tell you to this day, I beat him every day. So old Ray Dog was fleet of foot. You dig? Y'all don't know Ray Dog. Y'all don't know me. You don't know. Fleet of foot.
You guys get that out there. Get that to the Associated Press. Get it out.
In high school, in the 50-yard dash, 5.4 seconds.
Ooh, wow. Blazed the trail. That's crazy.
Me, Darryl Green, and 2 other guys set a city record in the 4x4. Yes.
That's incredible.
170. How much did I weigh in? 178. 178. Wow. Moving. Doing it, man. Way before James Brown.
It's impressive.
Y'all hear me?
The feet work.
48.8. 400 meters. 400 yards. That's longer than meters.
That's impressive. That's
48.8.
It's impressive.
Darryl Green, Hall of Famer. Yes. Same neighborhood. Talking about. I don't know who they think they talking to, Avi.
I tried telling them you're a Renaissance man earlier.
Yes. Like I just been sitting at the bus stop all my life.
No.
Watching the bus go by.
No.
Yes, man. Moving. Throw it up, baby. I'm going to get it. 100 meters. 10.5.
Records breaking.
The guy that won 100 meters my senior year, Reginald Harvey. Ask him what I did to him every day. I didn't run the 100 though.
Wow.
He ran 10. He ran 10.5. So what I would have ran every day. Ate him alive, man.
Wow.
Man, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to talk no more, man.
Man, that's incredible.
I don't even like to go back to my upbringing, but see, they done did it to me now, man. People thinking Ray Dog.
Listen.
Thinking Ray Dog been sitting on the sidelines, man. What's wrong with them?
No, I always tell people, if we're going to run down your resume, it's going to be a 4-hour show because there isn't nothing you haven't done well.
Hey.
You won't say it, I'll say it.
Look at Right Snapper. He said, even quicker running across a football field. That's a buddy of mine. You know what he's talking about? Obviously, I never told you this story.
Okay.
We got to get ready to wrap the show up, guys. Anybody that's watching out there on the Instagram, eventually I'm going to have everything on the Instagram so you guys can see the show. Right now, you're listening to me talk, but you can't hear Avi and you can't see what the crowd is talking about. But hey, man, I'm working on it. So just give me a little bit more time. I'll have it together. One time, me and my boy, Rice Snapper, was at a football game together, right? A college football game. And I think somebody started shooting or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And the whole crowd hit the deck. All the y'all. Oh, this is no lie, this is a true story. All the y'all, all the football players hit the deck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You see all this shit. This shit was like in a movie, man. You know what I'm saying? so me and my buddy, we took off across the field while all the guys was laying down. We're going from one side of the sideline to the other side because we thinking the shooter might be on the side we on, you know. So we haul ass, man, across the field, right? Yeah. And we get to the other side, you got to jump over the thing for the seat start.
Right.
So I jumped over. I jumped over, and there's a guy laying down, hiding right there in between the seats and where you jump over. And then my buddy jumped over and he landed right on the guy. We didn't even wait to see if he was okay, and we hauled ass up the stairs, you know what I'm saying?
And according to Rice Sniper, you did it in boots.
Yeah. We hauled ass, we got out of there, man, and ran out of there, ran through the parking lot, got to our car, and got the hell. Oh my God, man. What a night, man. What a night. Man. Hey, Rice Snapper, you ain't got to be telling our business, man. Oh, God.
You set another record, my friend. Another one. Hey, you know, it is Olympic season after all, guys. You know what? I got to tell you this real quick, too. Do you believe that it's been 40 years since those 84 games? I mean,
yes.
That's incredible when you think about that. 40 years.
Yes, man. Yes.
In
LA.
That was in LA.
And they're getting ready to come back 4 more years from now.
I will say this. 1984 to me will go down as the greatest and most important year in NBA history for the following reasons.
Okay.
Chronological order.
Okay.
David Stern becomes commissioner in February.
Right.
First NBA All-Star Weekend takes place in February. The greatest NBA Finals of all time up until that point, renewed a rivalry we hadn't seen in 15 years, Celtics versus Lakers.
Right.
In 07. A little bias here. Bernard King becomes Bernard King in the 84 playoffs and lights up everybody.
Never forget it.
Never forget that. Summer of 84, we get the Summer Olympics. That's when the world is introduced to Michael Jordan for the first time. The world.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 84 draft. Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, John Stockton, Charles Barkley, Otis Thorpe, Kevin Willis, Alvin Robertson, the greatest draft of all time.
Yep, and that was the last time you left one out.
Yes, it was the first time the 16-team playoff format was introduced in the playoffs.
That also, but I'm talking for the collegiates. That was the last time the collegiates won the gold medal for the United States of America.
That's very true, because in 88 they lost.
Yes.
Yeah, the bronze. That was the David Robinson, Dan Marley team, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's very true. And that kind of caused the shift to the pros. And you forgot this as well, 84, you're right. How about Georgetown versus Houston?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What about that one?
Yeah. 10 years later, Olajuwon got some revenge on Ewing in the pros.
And I remember them talking about that, too.
Oh, yeah.
That was college. That was good college basketball back then.
Man, was it great.
Good college basketball. Because you got to see the guys for so long.
Yes, what a time.
That's you got to see them you got to see the great ones for at least 3 years.
Got to see them grow. You're right.
It wasn't no one, me get my 1 year and go to the pros, man. You had to do 3 years. You had to.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
Hakeem did 3 years. Jordan did 3 years. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You had to do 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, they were trying to get Ralph Sampson out of Virginia in 81 as a freshman. Red Auerbach was trying to get him to Boston. He said, nope, I'm staying in Virginia.
Lewis just said 84, WWE took over.
I
think you're right about that, too.
Good point.
I think he's right about that.
Lewis is right. That's when Vince took his tanks and started steamrolling over everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Jones just said Ole was a racist. What white man ain't?
There you go.
Steve?
Here you go.
Racism is just not put in one sector and then it's not in the other sector.
Right.
It's just that some people show it and some people don't. Still don't make him not a racist. What about that?
It's true.
That is why when we talk about racism, you got to be careful.
That's true.
Because any scholar, this is true, Steve. I don't know what color you are or what race you are.
Yeah.
If you're black, okay, I see what you're saying. If you're white, I see what you're saying also. But at the end of the day, scholars that study these kind of human behaviors, you know what they say? If you go through the American educational system and you are of Caucasian race, a European descendant, and you're not racist, you are an anomaly. You want to argue with that from a scholar? That is why, Steve, when you bring up shit like that, it ain't for this show. Because I'm going to be honest with you, with all due respect, and to all intensive purposes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Straight up. I could care less. Because, see, if you're not a person in power, your racism doesn't do shit to anybody but eat you up inside. But people in power, people that can control different things like implementing policy, they can make your life a living fucking hell.
Ain't that true? Ain't that the truth?
See, that's the reason why I get monetized on this show, because I walk it like I talk it, and I ain't pulling no punches.
Truth.
But Avi,
yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming on talking about my man Sid Vicious, man.
Absolutely. Hey, can I show you a quick photo? This was Sid's favorite photo. Can I show this? Because he sent it to me. He said, "Hey, could you put this?"
How you gonna show it? Your video screen not on?
Yeah, right here. My screen isn't on, but I pulled this up here, Steve. I don't know if you could see it backstage. It's a photo of he and his grandkids. If you could pull that up.
Oh yeah. I do see it.
Yeah. There we go. They meant the world to him. So
yeah, somebody else posted that, man.
Yeah.
That I saw before. Look at Sid, man.
Yeah.
What a good guy.
A few months back, happy as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's my boy, man. Man, God rest his soul and
amen.
Hey, man. Hey, he's one of a kind, Avi.
Yes, sir. So are you.
He's one of a kind.
So are you, brother.
Yep. But hey, Avi, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man. We got to do it again. Sonny Ono could be. Oh, yeah. Guess what Sonny texted me and said?
What'd he say?
I didn't tell you why the show was going on. Hey, man, I'm out to dinner. Supposed to be on the show. But I did call him and tell him that I was going on by myself tonight. But I did call him back and tell him he could come on later. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
And man, you got some great viewers. Thank you guys for the nice reception and comments. Appreciate you guys too. Thank you.
Hey, they know what's up, man. That's how we do it on this show, man. It ain't gonna get nothing but bigger and bigger. You guys got to know, like I said before, we're getting ready to go to another platform. We're going to be on a bigger platform. We're going to reach more people, and we're going to get more things going on so we can interact with you guys, man, and have a good time. We're going to be doing things that no other people in this business are doing.
Very true.
That's what we're going to be doing, man. Remember, I told you we're going to title match. As a matter of fact, man, I'm getting a lot of stuff together. Man. And Avi will be back on, man. He's not going to be a stranger.
Absolutely.
And then next time you'll have all this good camera work and everything together, and we can lay it down like we usually do, man. And remember, we'll be back with 3 the Hard Way after the next WWE or AEW pay-per-view. I'm not sure right now, but 3 the Hard Way will be back too. Hey, man, when you guys inform me, I put it out there. So if you want to inform me about different things that's going on out there, I'm open for it. If you want to inform me about who racist and who isn't, this ain't the show for you, with all due respect. But for my man, Avi, any closing words?
Mr. KB's asking me if I ever ate at Rockaway Fish House. No, but I will now. Thank you.
Don't eat there, bro. Don't eat there. Well, no, I'm serious, man. Well, of all the places to eat at Rockaway Fish House, think about that. Think about that, dog.
I don't know.
Don't eat there.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Don't eat there, Avi. Where is it? Where is it, Avi?
Far Rockaway, Queens.
Don't. How far is that from you?
That's probably about, now that I'm in Jersey, probably about an hour and a half.
Look, bro, you know, Long John Silver right down the road. Okay,
Long John Silver.
You probably get a better piece of fish. You know, telling you right now, man.
Take that
Hey,
advice.
everybody out there that's watching on Instagram, man, appreciate all the love for Sis Vicious. I'm sorry I couldn't get to any of your questions tonight because we had so many on the screen. Couldn't get to you, but like I said, I'm working on getting you guys in the system so everybody can see us go live. We'll be going live, and I'll be taking your questions and stuff like that. And not only that, I'll be bringing you on film for everybody to see you on the show. So that's going to be a gas. Serious business. Okay, guys, I'm going to be peace out with these guys, and we're going to get that going, get them out the way. Yeah, Abby, that's what we do, man. That's how it's gonna go.
Man, what a blast. It felt like 5 minutes, my friend. It felt like 5 minutes.
Hey man, that's how we do it, Abby. Okay, man. Rockaway Boulevard. Man, get out of here. Get out of here, man. Wait, I wonder, does he work there? Does Master KB work? Does he work there? Obviously, if you go there, leave him a 50-cent tip. Just in case. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. Okay, guys. For my man, Aubrey Klein, the professor, I'm your boy, Stevie Ray. Sonny Ono didn't show up on this excluded night of Tokyo Heat. No Tokyo, no Heat tonight, but hey, we had the professor in the house. But if you guys do nothing else, give the big shout out to the big guy up the stairs.
Amen.
And say a prayer for my man. And give your condolences to his family, Mr. Sid Vicious.
Amen.
Hey, we're celebrating his life.
Yes, sir.
That's what we do. But like I said, for my man, Aubrey Klein, I'm Stevie Ray. If you do nothing else, be one. Peace.